All right, we are live. Hey guys, welcome to tonight's stream. I'm your host Colin. Thanks for joining me again, or who will be joining me when you guys are watching my VODs. Yesterday, I had a lot of fun, and it was just basically me talking to you guys, the viewer. Quick shout out to Crack. He was the one who actually kept the my chat going. I was supposed to stream for about an hour, but I kept going for another 30 minutes. That's just how much fun I was having. So I think we're going to do it again this time. And so instead of talking about GTA 6, we're going to talk about, as the title suggests, Bloodborne and some Disney movies. So we'll start with Bloodborne. Now, I don't have too much to say other than the fact that I still have not finished it. And as of today, I still have not gotten to the first boss, which is the, I think it's called Cleric Beast. I know it is supposed to appear on some kind of bridge, but I still haven't gotten there. It's funny enough to think that because Bloodborne, of all the videos that I've made, right, excluding the shorts, Bloodborne actually had the most engagement and actually had the most views on my channel. As small as it is, I appreciate the fact that, you know, I'm just happy to get just 1 or 2 comments a video. That's all I really want. Even a like is awesome by me. But it seems like the Bloodborne community, or maybe even the Souls community, are pretty friendly. I honestly thought that I was gonna get clowned on by the way I played and kind of pussied out. Because that's the only way I could describe it. I pretty much just pussied out from playing that game. I did explain in my video that, in my live stream, that it wasn't the difficulty that didn't keep me going. It was basically just what I'm going through in my personal life right now. And, you know, and the fact that Bloodborne was basically heightening up my anxiety and giving me a sort of dread, something I really didn't need at that time. That's why I said it basically shows how good of a game that Bloodborne really is. I have no problem with the gameplay, but at the same time, I was very surprised by the fact that it basically gave you no hand holding. I think when I turned it on, I almost felt a sense that the developers were feeling me out by saying, it's almost like the game expected me to have played some sort of Souls games before going to Bloodborne. At least the very small amount of hand holding that was giving to me when I first boot up the game. Because other than the basic controls of move, you know, attack, light attack, heavy attack, it was basically just reading a bunch of notes on there. It didn't not once to tell me where to go. And because it didn't tell me where to go and there was no clear direction, I got a little bit frustrated, but at the same time was pretty humbled by it. So good job to you guys From Software. That said though, of all the comments I received on my Bloodborne videos, shorts included, they all have been very positive, telling me that not to give up, hoping that I would give it another chance. And I responded in kind by saying that I will return to that game. Okay, I really will return to that game, just as soon as I recover a bit of my sanity and maybe you know, grow up a little back of my balls or something like that. So I mean, so many people have finished it. I'm sure there are more people finishing that game than people who have dropped it off, who put it off like me. That I'm sure. And I really can't call myself a good YouTube content creator or even a streamer or even a gamer if I can't finish Bloodborne. I don't think I played on the hardest difficulty though, because I did say I did not pick the class where the one that says a waste of skin. Oh, hey, Crack. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Today's subject is going to be Bloodborne and a little bit of Disney movie. So right now I'm just focusing on Bloodborne. And basically it's just a recap of what I experienced as a first-time Bloodborne player. Excuse me, a first-time Souls player. You see, correct? See, you have never played it. I'm surprised. See, guys, I'm not the only one who's kind of got scared of it, but I will be returning to it because so many people, including my friends, told me a lot of good things about it. I don't have anything negative to say about it, other than the fact that I prefer to be in 60 FPS because it is a hack and slash or an action game, I should say, action RPG game. I always prefer 60 FPS. You did play, but you didn't finish it though. That's what you're telling me. You're saying you're brave. I'm not playing it. Never. You did play it. Well, I guess you are braver than me then. Just 3 hours and 30 minutes. Hey, you lasted an hour 30 more than me. If you my first stream on this channel with my face reveal was actually Bloodborne. It didn't exactly go as well as I planned. And I mean, I got lost a couple of times and just exploring that whole area. What is that area called? Yarnum? Oh god, just thinking about it just gives me a little bit of a, just makes me, I wouldn't say depressed, but just oh, why am I here? Why am I still living? That's the feeling I was getting. You picked the waste of skin class. Well, bravo to you. That means that you had confidence in yourself then, right? Because I remember that's the one with like the lowest stats and whatever. And I forgot which class I picked though. In fact, I was gonna, you were like, how bad could this be? I was not as naive, I guess, because I do know that Bloodborne, people did say Bloodborne was probably one of the hardest Souls games, along with Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. So I picked just, I think the one in the middle. You were too full of yourself. Hey, we've all been there. As a guy who prided myself being a Devil May Cry player, I'm not saying I'm an expert at action games or an expert at Devil May Cry, but I did S rank Devil May Cry 5. And I can hold my own against like the hardest difficulty, no problem. So this one I thought, well, it shouldn't be too difficult. But I haven't played games in so long. X-Nay on Stardew Valley and like Dave the Diver, those kind of games, you know? The relaxing games. I haven't really played, and of course Mario Kart. I sometimes play those, but something that requires dexterity, good reaction time. Yeah, it's been a very, very long time since I played it. I mean, the last time I played an action game that was like I was really, really into was Devil May Cry 5. That was like in 2019. So it's been a while. So my fingers aren't exactly up to task. Maybe my head is a little bit slow because I am getting a little bit older now. So I still remember so if you guys don't mind, just like yesterday, we're going to watch some YouTube videos of Bloodborne, but instead of watching other people play, you're going to be watching me. So I, at the very least, know that this, I will not be copyrighted. Christ right, because, well, can I? You never know. So this will be kind of fun. I thought this might be kind of interesting to actually watch my own live stream, you know? So I don't know whether to cringe or just it's going to be painful. But there we go. So you guys are about to go watch a good show, or are about to facepalm the hell out of out of yourselves. Well, none of these are me. I mean, I've seen a couple of Bloodborne tutorials and guides, but uh, I've never like fully experienced the game, so I can't say it's 100% blind. I mean, it's an old game. I think it's like 5-6 years old. Wow, I guess I'm not in the YouTube algorithm yet. Maybe my channel is just so small that you can't find me. Wow. You really can't find me. Am I really that small that you can't find me? Oh, thank God. There I am. So if you guys can't see, this is, well, it's gonna be a little bit weird. This is kind of strange looking at my own channel, looking at like this on stream. I don't want to come off as a narcissist, guys. This is just for analysis and for fun. So here's one of my first time trying to do a thumbnail, and it's not the best thumbnail, but it looks like. But I was going for the fact that I was going for the effect of me trying to like survive or praying to God that I survive this game. And I mean, see how I got 151 views? That's the most views I've gotten for my live stream. So yeah, thanks, Crack. So let me mute the music just a little bit. And again, for those of you guys watching on Twitter, I'm sorry, I can't. Uh, I can't. I don't know why. You guys can hear my voice, but not the gameplay. I tried everything. The YouTube video works. The recording works. I don't know. I have no idea why Twitter is not streaming the audio. I don't know why. Again, I'm sorry, guys. So this is my first playthrough. It has been a long time since I fell in love with the game. Will Bloodborne revive my passion? So again, going with the typical, I was like first playthrough newbie style. That's the infamous Bloodborne player. Well, I don't know. Thanks, Crack. Uh, I don't know about Bloodborne player, but maybe there's a better word for a noob. But here we go. Ooh. Hey guys, welcome. Hey, that's me. It's my voice. First playthrough of Bloodborne. And let me know if the audio's good. Well, this is also. God, this is embarrassing watching myself. And it is also the first time I've actually revealed my face on stream. We're not gonna watch the entire video because I can't stomach myself watching myself for that long. I mean, I have a hard time watching myself when I edit the video. Audio's too low. Hell of a way to start. How about now, Crack? My first stream. Everyone has been telling me to play this game. I mean, all my. But now, Crack. Hope that's good. But either way, I just want to talk through it a little bit. As long as you guys hear my voice, I think it's that's what matters. So before we even start, when I started this game, right, this whole little crescendo is still a little low. Right. Ooh. Hey guys, welcome. This is my first playthrough of Bloodborne. A little bit better? Hopefully that's a little bit better. Hopefully that's a little bit better, Crack. Again, I'm still cringing at the fact that I'm watching a YouTube video of myself. So get used to it. That's better? Thanks. As before we even started, this little soundtrack, right? The little oh, I've already lost. I may not show it right here, but I've already lost like 50% of my whatever confidence and whatever happiness I have, and whatever like, oh, let's do this, oh, let's get it, let's finish this. I'm not afraid of this. Yeah, just poof. 50% of it is all gone. So half of me right here is just like I am already nervous listening to this song. If you hear this song by itself, I mean it's just pure dread for me. It's basically saying, "Welcome to hell. You're not going anywhere. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna die." Basically, so I always thought that maybe people who play Bloodborne and specific, I mean, they love the hell of Bloodborne. I always thought they're either masochist or sadist. So I still stand by that. Anyways, so what class did I pick? Or are afraid of horror games? I don't know. Excuse the stuttering, because again, I was nervous the first time showing my first my face. And god damn, everyone's been telling me to play this game for a long time. Let's see what this game's got. I was so confident in this game, in this I mean, just look at this. I know that's what's his name, Garnum or whatever, the guy in the wheelchair, right? But just this is one of my biggest fears of when it comes to horrors. It's usually psychological horror and Lovecraftian. I think I've read there's articles where Lovecraftian is like basically like the horror of unknown. Famous last words, right? I know. Let's see what this game's got. Everyone's been talking about it. But the fear of unknown, that alien isolation, dead space. I mean, you can say that Lovecraftian horror is kind of also psychological horror, and also. So of course, I don't know what the hell was going on, other than the fact that the name of the game is Bloodborne, so it's got to do something with blood. And then I assume on at this point, everyone is basically just gone mad with experimenting with blood. That's the only thing that I could make what it is what I'm looking at. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's I don't think I've ever had another game that just poof like put you in the story right there. Barely any tutorial and barely any explanation of where you are, what the hell is going on. It's just boom, you are in. So that was very surprising to me. Yes, yes. Since young, aged. I think which one did I pick? I think I ended up picking professional. Yeah, I think I picked professional. Not because I wanted it, but I was basically just the old fashioned eeny meeny miny mo, catch a tiger by its toe. So, all right, let's get this out of the way because I don't want to hear myself any more than I need to. Oops, sorry about that, guys. So again, I didn't spend too much time on the character customization. I basically was like, well, whoever, I mean, tried. He looks like a Virgil to me. So blue eyes, white slick back here, whatever. So blue, baby blues. So just when this happens, I was freaking the fuck out because there's nothing that scares me the most than basically looking at danger in the face and having there's nothing you can do about it. Get up, get up. I remember this part. Wake the fuck up. Wake up. Come on. Get the fuck I was up. Pretty scared. And all of a sudden, a bunch of little babies or whatever came and molested me or something like that. Get up! I don't know if you can hear the oh. Yeah, I was legit scared. This is the fact that I was streaming in my room, in a very bright room, with two lights right here and just a computer screen, and my door is actually open. So it's not like a very intense environment, like all the lights are out and you only have like a headset like this where you're completely immersed. Yet I was still freaking out.
Ah, you found yourself a hunter.
Oh God, there's so many things I did wrong looking back at this. So see all that hair and that blue, sexy blue eyes. So, anyways, yeah. Uh, I don't know what the hell just happened, but I basically was just looking around the room. I admired the detail, as horrific as it sound, as it looked, right? And basically, I just went up and tried to beat this werewolf up with my own karate chops. And then, of course, uh, I guess you're supposed to die here. So, and then you get transported to this dimension or whatever. Why aren't you dodging? Right? This is where you get your weapons. However, what you don't know is that the game didn't tell me. Uh, I guess it did tell me that here you can have some weapons. There's a gun, and I picked this one, which is the crane, because I thought it looked cool, and probably the most sophisticated looking weapon, right? And compared to the axe and the saw cleaver, whatever, I thought this one might be quicker. I'm always preferring the quicker release ones, smaller damage, quicker release. But as you can tell if you keep watching my stream, and I can't believe people actually did watch my stream. I got lost here pretty for a while. For like a good 7 8 minutes, I was like, "Where do I go? Where do I go?" Before I realized that, oh, you're supposed to touch the tombstone, and it teleports you back. So then, what happened later on was that I kept challenging the werewolf because I did not know how to. I didn't know how to equip the weapon because, well, the game told me that I had weapons, but didn't show me how. So I was extremely frustrated. So throughout this entire part, I was just face palming myself. I was like, "Am I supposed to beat this guy without any weapons?" Um, but yeah, I don't want to subject you guys to self torture. If you guys want to watch this video, go ahead for yourself. But I'm gonna hurl if I keep watching this and hearing my voice for too long. But either way, until I figured it out, right? So this is how long it took me to figure out. So, let's see. Keep going, keep going. I still haven't figured it out. Oh wow. Okay. So it took me like a good 10, no, probably 15 minutes to even get the hell out of there. Just to see get out of the that first laboratory because I didn't know how to equip weapons. Embarrassing, I know. And of course, I know you're gonna say, "Well, I streamed for almost 2 hours for this game, but why did it cut off here?" It's because, well, during this stream, this is my first stream with my face. I tried to stream at a higher bit rate, and what happened was Twitch. I think their bit rate was maxed out at 6,000, and I was streaming at 16,000 because YouTube can handle it. I was trying to give it the a better viewer experience, right? Well, unfortunately, that it just kicked off. I still have the recording, but basically it's just me running around uh, the town, getting my ass handed to me. The two guys that gave me the most trouble were obviously the pitchfork guys and the guy with the blowtorch. To my credit, though, I mean, it may sounds like an excuse, which I guess it is. I've never really um, played an action game where R1, R2 is basically the attack button. I'm always used to either square, triangle, or X. Devil May Cry player, of course. Other than that, but yeah, that was basically my first streaming experience on YouTube with the face cam, and this is how embarrassing it's going to be. If I keep doing this YouTube thing, maybe people will come back and check it out. But even just, I'm going to be honest with you, just looking at this, I'm both cringed out by my lack of experience. But even just watching this right now, me playing it, that sense of dread is more or less coming back. You know, I even talking about right now, I feel that it's slowly sucking away my 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 energy, my confidence. So we'll just leave it at that. And I don't want to look at my face any longer than I need to. Oh, hey, there's me. Cool. And I got one watcher. Thanks, Crack. Uh, Again, if you guys, Craig, if there's anything else you want to discuss, I can, we can change the subject. But at the end, but that's all I have to say about Bloodborne as of now. So if you don't mind, I'm going to shift the subject because I think I talked about Bloodborne long enough. Being a guy who pussied out, I don't have, I can't exactly give it a review because I haven't played it. But other than that, one of these days I will return it, and you guys can watch more embarrassing videos of me trying to get through this game. So let's move on to our next subject then. Sorry, Bloodborne. What was the other subject? Disney movie discussions. All right. This is actually one of my favorite discussions topics when I have with my friends because it's so nostalgic to me. I'm not talking about something like um, the Lion King, Toy Stories. No, I'm talking about the original. If you guys ever had, I don't know if you guys are too young to remember this, but during Lizzie McGuire run, Disney Channel, we used to have like Disney original movies, not really played in theater, but they were played on the Disney Channel. You know, why Disney movies? Uh, Crack. I'll answer that right now. I think it's because when I first came to this country, my parents and I emigrated over here, right? Obviously, I had to learn English. I didn't speak a lick of English. I spoke Chinese Mandarin when I got here. And in order to just, instead of like trying to memorize just vocabularies, right? I would convince my parents to just let me watch movies and TV shows so that I can learn how to speak. And they agree with that. So Disney movies were actually the first things that came to that was on those channels that were free at the time that would actually learn about the American culture. That's why. So I have a soft spot for them. Again, I'm not talking about Lion King, Toy Stories, because those movies they played in China back then. It was really expensive though. But when I came here, I didn't understand the American culture, which is like the school system. Like in China, I remember we had to wear uniforms, and here I obviously went to a regular public school. People were just wearing jeans and whatever. So I wanted to learn what you guys, or rather, what the how to be cool, how to be sociable back then, because I was the odd kid who didn't speak a lick of English. Everyone brought a bag lunch. Everyone ate sandwiches and pizzas instead of rice and noodles. So when I was watching these Disney movies, right? Because these Disney movies, some of them would portray school life, and that's how I was like, okay, this is how what cool people would say, how cool people would act. And back then, I think it was like Backstreet Boys were popular and NSYNC. So that was why I wanted to talk about it when I was telling about my friends, asking about my friends what they thought about these stuff. Um, that they always kind of laughed it off because back then my friends thought it was stupid to like try to imitate Backstreet Boy in hip hop. With the greased up spiky hair and all that stuff. Rough, crack. Yeah. I mean, it's just normal when you move to a different country with like different cultures and stuff. One sec. Um, it's to be expected. I mean, I'm not the only one. Plenty of people from other countries have done it. It's just because if you're emigrating from like say France or Mexico, Spanish and French, at the very least you can understand a little bit of it because you got the alphabets. Or if you come from the east side of the world, Japan, Korea, and China, of course, we write in calligraphies, right? It's completely different. The pronunciation, and that's just the basics. That doesn't like including the vowels and like the um English is probably in my after learning about that, I would say obviously English is probably the easiest language to learn. And I came from the country China, which is, in my opinion, the hardest language to learn because it's so overly complex, and you have to there's like, for example, like if one word, even if they sound the same, can have like 4 or 5 different meanings. That's how overly complex it can be. So it's very strict. So when I came over here, adjusting to the palate, like food, but also the language barrier and all that stuff. It was it was it was hard, as you say, it was rough, but at the same time, it was also liberating. I mean, here I'll tell you a good story, right? Before we get on to the Disney thing, because this is starting to shift subject into my childhood. So I don't know if you guys want to hear too much about that. One of the first things about when I came here that I've noticed immediately was the grass and the dirt. It might sound strange, but that's what took my eyes. Um, that's what caught my eye the most. Hang on one sec. My dog is needs to be let out a little bit, so I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. What was I saying? Um, oh right, the grass and the dirt, right? If you didn't know, China obviously is a very um, quiet, please. Uh, China is a very old land. In America, obviously, 1776, and you got the Indians right over there before that. Um, America is actually a very young country. In China, it's like goes back thousands of years. So when I was in China, the dirt, grass and dirt. Yeah, crack. Thanks. Yes. Ellie, what do you want? You want to say hi to the stream? This is my dog Ellie. She's a very clingy rascal. You already ate. You're supposed to go to sleep. Here, I'll hold you for a sec, then you can go play with Snow. There you go. Sorry about that. Grass and dirt. The uh, she China is a very old land. So what you might not know about that is um, because it's the dirt has been used so much that the red. Thanks, Crack. Yeah, it's one of my, I have two dogs. Bichon Frise, small little dog, and I got a big white fluffy dog, Great Pyrenees named Snow. The uh, the dirt in China, at least from what I remember, is red, and it's red because it's been used so much, and it doesn't have as much nutrients. It's more like it's almost got a clay like texture from what I remember. So when I got here, the first thing I noticed when I got out of the airport, also because we were in a car, I realized just how green the grass was. Because a lot of the grass in China, at least from what back then I remember, were all like kind of yellowish. Now, granted, this is when I came here around 1997 or 98. So China didn't have that, was just at the start of that big giant economic boom. I mean, back when I left, we were still having like bicycles on the road, and and when I walked to school, it was dirt, like literally literal mud, and when it rained, it was literal mud. So that's how I remembered it, right? So it was a long time ago. So when I got here, I mean, everyone had houses, everyone had cars, everyone had pets. And in China, by the way, if you I don't know too many people have pets because pets were pretty expensive to take care of. And if you didn't know, does that include every part of China? Yeah, pretty much. I was raised in the southern part of China. The region or the province that I am in China is a little bit like a little bit. We're very close to. I think it was either Vietnam uh, or Thailand. One of those. It's like a couple hour drive from that country. So we're in the very southwest part, right? My region is really known for like fruits and vegetables because it was humid. Um, The best way I can describe it is probably there was a video that I actually saw that like depending on what state you are in, and then compared to what province it is in China, right? So my region is actually the guy described it as Louisiana. That was I thought I was like really Louisiana. I don't live in Louisiana, by the way, but it's humid and muggy, lots of vegetation, and people eat crazy shit. I'm talking about starfish, crickets, bugs, beetles. I never ate any of that stuff because it creeped the hell out of me. But then as soon as he said that, when he said that the people there eats crazy stuff, I was like, he's actually right. He's really right about that. Me and my parents never ate those stuff. But by the way, we also had spiders on a stick, on a skewer, uh, beetles on a stick, and crickets in a bucket on the street and on the night market. It was pretty crazy. Just saying, it was pretty insane. Now that I think, like, not going back on this nostalgia trip. Red Dirk, yeah. Um, because again, like I said, crack. It's it's a very old country. I mean, there was like so many different types of emperors and dynasties um, that took over China from one to another, right? Don't ask me about that because I left when I was like after second grade. I don't remember much of it. And then afterwards, like I moved to Shanghai, which is the northeast part, for like maybe 2 years, and then we packed our bags and went to move to America here. So I I had my fun back then. Um, God, we can go on this nostalgia trip for a while because I can talk endlessly with the amount of stories that I can provide you guys on the amount of things I saw comparing over there to here. If you guys want to hear it, let me know in the comments or in the chat or whatever. But I rather give these, tales a little bit. These tales, maybe save them just down the line. So let's get back to the Disney stories. If you didn't know this, but in China, everyone wear uniforms. You do not piss off any of the teachers. There is no such thing as a class clown. And of course, we had the popular group and the non-popular group. But the popular group is more or less like the people who studied hard. And I'm talking about like 7 o'clock in the morning to like 7 o'clock at night. Okay, that's how strict Asian school are, or still is, I believe. It is really really crazy. Ah. So when I got here, when everyone like got dropped off from school, I was so surprised that everyone brought their own lunches because everyone in my that I remember back in China, it was we were going through a cafeteria, and trust me, the things that we ate or that they served was basically fit for prison food. It was literal a giant bucket with a ladle, cabbage, carrots, and some like the cheapest chicken or pork that you can find, and then here's a bowl, and then you take your bowl. May I have another, sir? Please? Yeah, that's kind of like that. Sounds about right. Thanks, thanks, crack. But yeah, that was so. But I wasn't exactly unhappy because back then it was just the way the things are operated, right? I didn't know people drove cars because it was only uh, it was only, at least back in the day, only very very wealthy or you're part of the government that you have cars. Typical Asian school, right on, crack. It's hard for me to go back to that kind of life in China. Now I'm sure it changed a lot now because China's modernized. And again, I don't want to get too deep into the political stuff because that would just make it uncomfortable, make this a very uncomfortable stream. So when I got here, I didn't know the rules. I didn't know what is up. I didn't, and your everyone's class is so small. So we were in elementary school, right? And our class, uh, and we had like three different classrooms. Each classroom had about maybe about 15, 20 kids or something like that. And I remember back in China, it was like at least your entire class is basically like your family. It has like it basically is like 80 kids. So again, the downsizing was a little bit uh, getting used to. the school was a lot nicer because there's actually AC. During the summer, we had actually, we had AC, and during the winter, we actually had heater. In my back in the day, I mean, when it gets cold in Shanghai, you didn't have that. Okay, it was not as nice. Maybe it changed now, but it wasn't nearly as nice as now, as right now, what they have. So because I didn't want to be part of the unpopular group, I had to actually learn like what is it that the typical kids like to do, and how do I get into the with the cool group, right? So obviously, in order to practice my English and to see how people talk, and to maybe like be part of the culture, I watched a lot of Disney movies, Disney original movies. Again, Craig, I'm not sure if you guys or anyone watching remember this. Those are basically called Disney Channel original movies. I think they were called. I if you remember, like Brink was probably the most well known one. Here, let me check. It's these type of the movies that I'm talking about. So Brink, right? Yeah, there we go. Like 1998 Disney original movies like these. Like these are the original Disney Channel movies that I would watch. And some of the slangs that I learned is like, "What's up, yo? Welcome home, guys. How's it going?" Like those slangs, or something. One of the things I remember in this movie is was "nunya," as in "nunya business." Typical elementary school stuff, right? So believe it or not, I still have these movies on VHS. Let's see. So basically, the synopsis. By the way, I still recommend it. Sometimes me and my friends we were discussing, I would actually show these movies, and they some of them watched this, some of them did not, but they saw it and be like, "Yeah, man, this reminds me of such an old good old times from the in early 2000s stuff." So basically, follows up with I don't know if you guys know this, but rollerblading. I don't know if it's still a thing though. I mean, it's rollerblading, guys. So basically, about a guy and his three friends just love rollerblading, and they call themselves soul skaters. That's how you know it's the early 2000s with the these self promotions. And basically, and compared to these guys, quote unquote, the bad guys, they are racing for sponsorship, and they just care about money. So what happens is he and his family get into a somewhat of a financial situation. I think dad lost his job, so he basically started to skate away from the soul skating part and start racing for them. There you go. There it is. Here it is. And competes for the other team. But it just very simple lessons that I remember. Another one of my favorite is actually it's called Horse Sense Disney movie. It's basically just about two brothers, and these guys I didn't know at the time, but they were actually real brothers. The Lawrence brother, if I remember correctly. Basically, one is from Montana, the little one, uh, and his family is losing his farm, and while the older brother is from California, rich, wealthy, good looking, and basically, in order to teach him the value of money and life and being humble, his parents send him to his little cousin or nephew's uh, country house farm to work. And to this day, I still think it's probably the best uh, Disney Channel original movies of all that they ever made. Another one was this. It's my smart house. This is actually one of my favorite. And of course, you got the original Luck of the Hours. So again, this one is basically um what is it? Basically they won a lottery and they move into a very smart AI programmed house. That's it. So this is what I thought was cool. I actually tried to learn this dance. Here, let me I don't want to play the ad. Um I actually tried to learn this and I tried to show off in school, and I got some looks. They were not very good looks, by the way. But I'm sure I had like a few people who gave me like, he's just trying to be one of us or trying to be cool. So here, let me know if the volume's good. So what happens here is that they. So the synopsis of this thing is basically his dad is basically going on a date, and the AI of the house invites his friends for like a party. And I always thought I want to do that because, you know, if you would automatically be cool if you have the house to yourself and invite all your friends to come over and hang out. That was the cool thing. But unfortunately, we were not wealthy, we were not rich, so it's hard to invite people over to your crappy looking apartment.
Hey Pat, how about activating some kick butt video screens?
Sure, Dan. How's this?
I'm not sure, but yeah, I can't. I don't want to play anymore because I don't want to get copyrighted. This is some good old fun times. Yeah, that's my type. That's my story when it comes to these Disney original movies. They may be cheesy, they may be, as you guys can say, cringy, but they taught me a lot about the culture of American. So the culture of America, I guess. And you, I'm guessing you're saying NSYNC, right? So, oh man, Pang Deo. Craig, again, I'm new to the streaming thing. If you're gonna write in some kind of meme or some kind of joke, you're gonna have to explain it to me, my buddy, because I have no idea what that's supposed to mean with the cigarette butts and stuff. But yeah, that was my way of trying to act cool and trying to understand the American culture system. It was hard, but at the same time, I had a lot of fun. And of course, you got your whole Lion King and uh, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and all that stuff. But I have a very soft spot for these kind of these movies. It wasn't until like I believe Lizzie McGuire uh, retired, and I think Hannah Montana took over. Um, that I began to see. I was like, okay, maybe I'm a little bit too grown up for this shit. So that's my story for these Disney Channel movies. I highly recommend you guys check it out. You know, don't take them too seriously. Think of it if you. I think they're almost free. You know. Oh, this one's not free. Oh, here another one. Out of all the ones I've said, Horse Sense is probably, in my opinion, the best movie. But my favorite has always been this one. Oh, the Paper Brigade, right? So basically, it's just about this kid who's kind of again lazy, moving to a new neighborhood, and in order to earn some money to impress a very beautiful girl, he became he basically took a paper route. You know, getting on your bike every morning and then doing tossing newspaper at people's doors, and it was fun too. I loved the hell out of this movie. Is this an hour 30?
During the 12 days of fitness.
Oops. No way the Gargura does. Yeah, my bad, Craig. I'm not blaming you, buddy. It's just that because I'm not as familiar with the online culture as everyone else. You might have to treat me with a little bit of a kid glove when it comes to knowing these these jokes, inside jokes, and whatever. Right? Again, I apologize.
Just want to know if you're wearing panties.
My mom hates
What is
him.
this? Here, I'm gonna put the voice a little bit low just because. Let me know if the audio is, but I'm gonna put it a little bit lower because I don't want to get copyrighted. And you know what, guys? I really kind of miss these simpler times. I mean, no one delivers paper like this anymore, right? This reminds me of back in the day when my friends would actually go out and mow people's lawns for money, and we would relax by afterwards we would go to 7-Eleven, get one of those Slurpees, Dr. Pepper, uh Fanta flavor. Mine has always been root beer. There's just something about Slurpees tasting really really good after a a hard day worth of work. But I mean, back in the day like these, I don't think people had internet just yet. Maybe it was in its infancy, and everyone was still basically playing outside. So excuse the sentimental value, but I kind of miss this. It was just a catchphrase for another VTuber, Pika me. Oh man, sorry, buddy. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, my bad. You might have to give me another face palm because I don't know who VTuber Pika me. Here, hold on. VTuber. Is that one of those anime characters that like 3D anime characters? If you don't mind, I'm gonna Pika me. Oh, there we go. Ah, so basically kind of like a Hatsume Niku, Hatsume Miku kind of thing, right? Okay, cool. I still have never checked out any VTubers though, but I'm guessing the fact that you're referencing her, uh, maybe she's a good creator. Let me know. Let me know, crack. I'll give her a view tonight then. But as I was saying, basically this the fact. Oh man, I can't believe this whole movie is actually on YouTube for free.
I'm really gonna try harder to get my chores done too.
So this guy's name is Gunther, and then you got that early classic. I try to grow my hair out like that because I thought everyone else does it. By the way, guys, in China, no one can, no guy, because everyone was in their uniform. No guys could leave long hair. Everyone had the exact same haircut whatsoever. There's no exceptions. Period. So again, imagine my surprise when I saw, oh, this is how kids live. And you're just basically wearing these T-shirts and these jeans and just go out with your day, whatever. Yeah, thanks, crack. So imagine my surprise. I was like, man, you guys get a garage. Your dad is at home, like working on the garage, and you guys get a pool. It was so surprising. So what happens is, he's he's obviously not a very responsible kid in the beginning, but because he has a crush on this blonde chick, now that I think about it, I think she's a little bit older than him. Anyway, Disney Channel, so we'll just ignore that for now. It leads to some pretty hilarious early preteen sitcoms, I guess. So of course he he actually there's a couple of trials, right? So this is the first route. I always love at this. I just tossed the paper right in his face. So he's obviously not very good. Doesn't take it too seriously. So there's a couple of trials, right? So one of them was like these kids basically throwing tomatoes and eggs at him, and then afterwards it's like a dog, which and then afterwards is like this old World War II veteran who, like, if anyone comes into his yard, just basically shoots him with paintballs. She graduated in YouTuber. In terms of making money, she works for, kicks her out. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. Well, uh, God, that's a bummer. Sorry to hear that, crack. I'll still check her out though. I'll still give check her out just for a bit, just for your sake, man. Yeah. So basically, this guy's old name is like Old Chrissy, Old Cooper, and basically shoot kids when they trespass onto his yard. I don't think this will fly in today's society. Second model she used, she can't use anymore since the model in the peak is entirely owned by the company. Oh wow. Actually, I'm not entirely surprised but to hear that crack um since the fact that a lot of these in Asia, they when you want to be like on YouTube or being online, they usually sign up with an agency company. They'll provide you with the stuff, with the training, but you have to give a certain percentage to them. But they own everything that you got. So I'm not entirely surprised to hear that actually. I mean, it's sad though, because everyone in Asia now really wants to be like all these, be an online YouTuber or something. It's sad. If you actually, I actually saw some documentary on YouTube on people trying to do like to be a vlogger or TikTok famous or YouTube famous. Well, YouTube is blocked in China, but online famous, right? It's really, really sad. I mean, there are obviously top earners, but the majority ones, they basically sleep on the street and, put up makeup. And it's a very, very sad life. So I didn't want to, I didn't want to, I didn't want to do that, obviously. Obviously, I don't have the looks. That's one. But two, that's pretty much all. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Crack. Um, but that's just the way that it is in China because again, in Asia, right, compared to maybe the Western country, what I realize is it's much more conservative over there, obviously, in terms of culturally and people's thinking way of thinking. You have to understand in China because it's a lot more competitive because there's more people per square foot. I mean, in China, you don't really live in a house because there's not enough land. We all live in like 40, 50-story apartments. And so imagine my surprise when I came here. The fact that the average people own a freaking house with a yard, and some came with a pool. VTuber rabbit hole weird. Yeah. Uh, I thought. I mean, I've done a little bit of research on the when I started streaming on what kind of research what kind of streamer I wanted to be. VTuber did was probably one of those. I was like looked at it. I was like, no, that's probably not for me. So I just kind of skipped over it. So yeah, but back to the Disney stories. And I was saying, so he overcomes these trials to become a better person, and of course the bullies comes in and take their paper routes. Hilarity ensues. He teams up with the neighborhood, blah blah blah, and in the end he becomes a very good, decent person, and a very good friend as well. So this is what happens. They made it instead of like so they made him like ride these girly looking bicycles. I always loved it, and this guy got egged, and this guy got mauled. She works for a different company now and different character image. Okay, well if you think she's still good, then give me her new name, then I'll check her out then. And of course, this is the part that got me. Uh, and not to mention, I still remember this guy's name. His name is Chad, of course, because of course it has to be Chad.
There is nothing to fear but fear itself.
Again, this is early 2000. Very very cheesy movie.
I'm out of here.
So this is the part where they defeated every one of the bad guys. And again, I know I'm ruining the movie for you guys, but please, come on, guys. This is an old movie, and I highly recommend this movie to you guys. If you guys can, put down the seriousness and all that stuff. Henya. Okay. Is that her? Daily dose of Henya the Genius. Zen. AI. Interesting. So she's just like me. She just talks then, because I have no idea what is she like a gamer or is she just chatting streamer or is it something else? Give me a little bit of preview before I check her out so I know what to expect. As long as it's not too weird. I know that I'm on YouTube, but and I'm also streaming on Twitch. So hopefully that's her. Alrighty, sounds good. I see. Based on the thumbnail, I have no idea what I'm looking at because I don't know if it's just a just chatting stream. This looks like a just chatting stream. This looks like a just chatting stream, and this looks like gameplay. I don't know what game she's playing though. Is it PUBG? Well, if you do recommend her that much, Crack, I'll give her a shot. I'll see. And I'm guessing that because it says, I mean, it's in Japanese. She better speaks English because if she speaks Japanese, I have no idea what she's saying. But anyways, you're so you're so innocent. Crack. What is that supposed to mean? Are you telling? Are you saying that I'm innocent? Did I do something wrong? Let me know here. Or is that one of Henya's little cultural memes and stuff? Again, I feel like I got so much to learn here. Like a fish just going into the ocean, like a new turtle, a brand new turtle that's just venturing out into the ocean for the first time, experiencing all these new jokes and memes for the world to see. I'm both scared and excited at this. Both scared and excited at the same time. So, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, this was also a pretty good stream. Maybe I wasn't, uh, I highly recommend these movies, Paper Brigade, Brink, all those guys. If you guys can have some nostalgia factors to the early 2000s, don't go down the VTuber rabbit hole. I'm just gonna check her out. Don't worry, I have no interest in slipping down the rabbit hole of and all that stuff. And I mean, I I almost had an idea what Twitch was. I mean, even today I saw some news. If you didn't know this, but it was like on Asmon Gold's reaction channel. I think he played a clip where a girl was almost showing like 70% of her tatas on stream on Twitch. I was like, this isn't like the hub. This isn't OnlyFans. Why are you on Twitch? So, and I realized based on his commentary, I was like, Twitch actually has a lot of. I guess they don't follow their own rules because I know if you do that on YouTube, you're gonna get banned immediately. I definitely know that. So, I again, those of you watching me or hearing me from Twitch, um, I think I will keep my distance from going down the rabbit hole of anything, to be honest. So, thanks for looking out for me, Crack. But I will diff if you recommend if you say speak so highly of her. I mean, the least I can do in respect to you is to just give her a few minutes of my time to see what she's like, right? Because again, I never watched a YouTuber in my life. So, anyways, I think this is going to be it for tonight's stream. We talked about Bloodborne for a little bit, not that much, but I talked a good 45 minutes about my old Disney movies. And again, if you guys have any other topics, discussions, because I can go on and on about anything. Maybe Final Fantasy 16, maybe Final Fantasy 7 remake, anything and everything, cooking, whatever. I'm all ears. If you want to hear more of my stories, maybe I'll reveal some, but I'd like to keep most of it inside as of for now, right? And then we'll keep that on the back burner for now. But as you said, thanks everyone for coming in. Crack, especially again, thanks for coming by and hearing me again. Again, if you guys like my stream, give it a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks. Have a good night, guys.